Let's envision a rising of the Solomonic King, an ecclesiastical, religious and political, human rights diplomat, a divine leader chosen by Seyume Exeaber, elect of Yahweh, and represented collectively by the sovereign will of the people, tasked with a sacred duty and political responsibility to safeguard the Human Rights Peace Treaty, UDHR Charter as divine world law. He must govern with divine Ethiopian wisdom and international justice, righteous political actions, in peaceful diplomatic negotiations. His reign is a reflection of Seyume Exeaber's sovereign will, and good diplomatic works in the universal redemption in law and economic salvation for all humanity on earth. This Solomonic King is a universal human rights defender, spiritual shepherd, to his Tewahedo, oneness, Christian people without request. He diplomatically guides them with wholehearted compassion for their human rights ignorance, protects them from political harm under neocolonialism's global financial colonizations, away from divide and rule politricks. His sovereign rule ensures that international peace and economic prosperity will reign at the UN Peace Treaty Organization realistically, with human rights diplomacy, a righteous human rights leader, a blessed UN world government, central body of authority, without Jesuit influence. The Solomonic King understands his divine purpose to force the last vestiges of racism and neocolonialism from off the face of the earth, under Article 8 of the UDHR Covenant, as a lawful human rights remedy. He is a servant, human rights ambassador extraordinaire and plenipotentiary at large, of Seyume Exeaber without Jesuit rivalry. A sovereign diplomatic guardian of his Tewahedo Christian people in humility, although they rejected him just as biblical scriptures foretold would happen under a whole world of mental slavery. His Solomonic legacy, one of human rights, righteousness, legal and lawful uprightness, and international justice. His sovereign reign will be a testament to the divine power in which the collective will of the people confers upon him to exercise human rights, sovereignty, political free will, in collective security, all for one Yahweh and one Yahweh for all. As the chief human rights dignitary sent by the Holy Spirit of His Imperial Majesty, he is an effective political instrument of Seyume Exeaber to slew the Jesuit dragon as a noble Ethiopian giant, great I am neutralizing threat, a human rights vessel of international peace and global economic prosperity, in the implementation of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals to eradicate artificially created poverty, a true embodiment of Solomonic wisdom in the information age of the 21st century. His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie Thirsts, Emperor of Ethiopia and human rights lawgiver of the 20th century. A modern embodiment of a Solomonic Christian king, is our perfect human rights example to study from and learn to act upon human rights intuition. He stood for international justice against Italian fascists, fought for Afrocentric freedom to be realized under the unanimous UN Resolution 1514 of 1960, a decolonization treaty for descendants of Africans. His Imperial Majesty believed in the equality of all people. He championed human rights at the UN, and handed the baton with a symbolic gold coin to King Emmanuel from the Bobo Shanti Hills. Spoke out against global economic oppression in the early stages of neocolonialism, and felt saddened by the murder of Lumumba, a good African leader who was sacrificed to implement the evil system of neocolonialism in its early stages of repressive psychological development. His sovereign voice resonated across Africa and the world yesterday into today. He understood the sacred importance of international political freedom to choose one's own destiny, fate, advocated for self-determination with cultural and political autonomy in the non-aligned movement for global solidarity. He envisioned a modern world of global commerce free from colonialism and religious Jesuit tyranny. A global economy where all nations, groups of like-minded individuals, stand as political equals, with their inherent dignity, priceless value, as the new foundation upon which to establish a digital global resource-based economy. The Ethiopian line of Judah's legacy lives on through a continuity of his divine human rights sovereignty, political free will, when we the people exercise them together in collective unity. He inspires us to politically fight cognitive dissonance within our own mentality, to become human rights defenders for international justice, under the UN Decolonization Treaty, in collective security, all for one Yahweh and one Yahweh for all. He will defend the politically oppressed, meek, and diplomatically save all those who receive and raise him up as Yeshua, the Redeemer of biblical prophecy, in full human rights glory, magnificence in law, to sanctify themselves and atone for the human rights violations, sins of their family and home country. We must build a new, debt-free modern world of global commerce where human rights are paramount in the lives of every priceless individual, created by trillions of cells merging together as cosmic energy. The moment we wise up and rise up against the geopolitical Jesuit status quo in human rights solidarity. Give thanks for watching. If you need more information, then feel free as a bird to contact kingdomofdebrazil2020@gmail.com and Human Rights Solidarity. Salah.